From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Morreale and Hitch.
Hey, we're here, Rob. The Morreale and Hitch podcast on the Ticats Audio Network. Welcome back. It's only been about 4 or 5 days since we last spoke.
Yeah,
this is good. Butko, are you on camera right now? Are you still hanging around? This is just something you do now?
We can see him though.
I can see you. I can see you. Oh, now he's gone.
Now we can't. Now he's gone.
David Butko, our executive producer. We just gave him that title, but he's failing miserably. Robbie, welcome back. Another week. No game to talk about because we talked about it last week.
We can still talk about how garbage they are.
We can talk about lots of things. But why don't we get started here? We got a guest coming on in about 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Butko's going to come on. We have a new thing that's happening. We just got notified from Peter. Why don't you give us an update, because I don't have the text right in front of me.
David is going to ask us 4 questions about this guest, and we are going to have to guess who the guest is, but Butko's not going to tell us if we're right. Yeah. So I said, what's the point? Just to kill some time, because I don't think they like us talking to each other.
Oh man, I can't believe we still have this show. I got to be quite honest with you.
Well, I do have to say, I know we finished off with how many games the Hamilton Ticats have against the East in the next 6 weeks, and it's again Toronto 4 times out of the next 6 weeks, and Montreal twice. So I mean,
there it is, right there. There's your season.
It's the year. Yeah, they're Toronto's 3-2. They're still a game behind. They've only got 5 games played, so everyone else has got.
Toronto's won 3 games.
Yeah, they're 3-2.
Oh my god!
They just beat Saskatchewan. Yeah,
I saw that. I did see that.
So they're 3-2. Montreal's 2-4. We're 1-5. And I just looked at that yesterday. Winnipeg has more wins than all the East combined. Isn't that nuts?
Wow, it is nuts.
7-0.
It is nuts.
7-0 is good. Yeah.
They are a finely tuned machine.
Yeah, but
it's good to see. Like, it's good to see. I mean, it's not good to see if you're a Ticat fan, but it's interesting to watch those guys roll through everybody, because, like we talked about before, it's been a long, long time since there's been, let alone back-to-back champions, that there's been somebody that three-peated. I think the last would have been the 70s Edmonton Eskimos.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And those teams we still talk about today. Like, those teams go down in history. I mean, nobody did what they did. I think it was 5 in a row or 4 in a row, whatever. Yeah, which is insane. But Winnipeg's on the way to 3. I mean, I don't know. They're the class of the league right now. You got to say.
You know what, though? Hamilton played them really well the first game of the season. I mean, could have.
Anybody can be beat.
Anyone can beat. But I don't know. We got to get another win under the belt. But I'm just, for those of you who are not looking or watching this on the video and just listening on the audio, Mike has got like a whiteboard behind him. Looks like he's playing hangman.
You know what that is?
He's got some lines crossed.
Do you see my note here?
No, I can't see that far over. Can't see that far over.
It says 100% Hitchcock on that board there. But no, this is. We have 2 offices, so this is the ping pong results.
It looked like hangman games you were playing.
Grand champion, by the way.
Are you?
Grand champion.
Oh, you haven't seen
Grand champion.
We haven't played because I'm good at ping pong.
No. Come on.
I'm really good at ping pong. Honestly,
with those fingers all like this?
You watch.
Mangled?
I'm going to come play, you guys. I'm good.
You come play. You're like 5 minutes from my office.
I haven't played in years, but I can play.
Doesn't matter.
You'll get crushed.
I haven't played in years. No, not going to happen.
Want to bet? I'll bet you.
We should bet.
Okay, we'll bet.
We should.
Okay, ping pong.
And maybe we'll live stream it. That's how great it'll be.
It'll be, if you're good, I can tell you I'm good.
Dude,
I'm telling you.
I am the grand champion.
Okay, well, you got no.
No, it doesn't say much. I got a bunch of, maybe some junior varsity players around here, but still, grand champion.
Okay? Well, we'll do it.
That's the way. Let's do it. What do we got? We're just counting down the minutes. Rob, 4 minutes to this
so
guest. We didn't have a guest last week.
No, we didn't have a guest because they didn't want to come on. But I can tell you.
You think it's the same guest?
Probably. I just got back yesterday from our family Elkville trip. So we went Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, came home yesterday, and it was 4 days of golf, 2 nights, and It was good. Matthew, my son, came,
Yeah.
who was 6 years under the age of drinking in the U.S., but he ended up having a couple of cocktails with us.
Well, you're in Ellicottville.
Well, he had to come.
There's no real
It
rules.
was for my dad.
Yeah.
My dad's memorial. He's been gone
Yes.
9 years, and it was great that he came.
9 years already, eh?
9 years he's been gone, yeah. So Matthew came, and he got a first taste of golf and what it does to have a few drinks with it, and he did. He had a couple. Yeah, he wasn't.
How do you play, though?
Oh, he's better than everyone. All 12 of us.
know.
Yeah, all the guys were like my buddy Scott, and of course Paul and John, brothers. Like Scott's a good golfer. He hits the ball down,
Yeah.
never gets in trouble. He's like 180 down the
That's
middle.
the thing.
Next one's near the green, and he's putting. He's par. But Matthew's just hitting like 260, 280.
What?
Right over all of us all the time. He's
Really?
Yeah, he's good. He's really good.
Damn.
Yeah,
That is good. Well, next time you take me out golfing, which will be who God knows when, then I can see him in action.
Yeah, we've got the club championships this weekend for the juveniles, which are 15 and 16-year-olds at our golf club. So he's going to be playing in that with about, I think there's 15 or 14 guys that are that age at the golf club. And
So how does he rank amongst those guys?
He's
like his peers.
There's one other guy that's good, that probably around comparable to him. So they'll be battling out. Just depends. It's all mental, right? Because it's not.
Oh, yeah.
It's not your. It's your club championship. So you got to put everything out 1 inch. Yours.
Oh, okay.
It's strokes. It's
Just the name that goes
it's
on
real
the plaque.
golf. Yeah, it's real golf. Right? You lose a ball, you got to take your strokes. Not like my brother Paul, who finds his ball 35 yards in the forest. I got it. Here it is.
Free drop outside.
Oh yeah, he took a 9. What'd you get? Par. Oh, okay, that's good. You got 4. He's always done that. He's always got the hole in the pocket.
How about the 6 balls you just lost?
Oh,
it just falls out the pant leg.
He's got the hole in his right pocket. Just
That's
walks
awesome.
and keeps walking, and it just starts rolling behind him. I said, Paul, you hit that ball like 45 yards back there. No, it's right here. Hit a rock. Hit a rock. Oh,
Hey, quick, interesting question. How was it going there and coming back? Border stuff.
Oh, here we go. It was great. We went
Okay,
through.
now I got you.
Yeah, we went through the duty free because we stopped in duty free, and the guy asked us what we had.
Yeah,
we had about $180 each, 3 guys in the car each, and what'd you have? We have a case of beer and maybe a bottle of vodka. Okay, go ahead. No, it was easy. Coming back was great. There was a bit about 25-minute wait on the way back, but we had to do our arrive can and all that. But they did not. The guys at the border said, okay, we had our golf shirts on because we played in the morning. And it was me and Obi. Obi was behind us. Yeah, it was Obi, and then Anthony Hayes. Yeah, big Hispanic. And then Matthew. So we got to the border guard, and he said, how long you been gone? They already know. They saw it on your 2 nights, 3 days. What do you got? About a case and a half of beer each, times 6, but we didn't say that. And then next.
Look who's here.
But no arrive can. No arrive can.
Yeah, oh, really?
Nothing. Just right over. Have a good day. The guy said, I used to golf in Ellicottville with my friends. Oh, perfect. See you later. Make conversation. So it was good. It was good.
Oh, look who just popped on.
Oh, boy.
Look who's here.
Nice
look
shirt.
This is his time to shine.
Is that a Minion shirt? Oh.
No, it's, Phineas and Ferb.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's Perry.
Okay.
Phineas. All right, so your questions are, now, guess amongst yourselves. The details about him.
Okay.
He went from being a Buffalo to a Ticats in the 3rd round. During the final game, his final game played at Ivor Wynne Stadium.
Jerry Kraft.
He was named to the all-time Hamilton Ticats team. What? He sells coffee.
Okay, well. It's not Marwan. It's
not Tyndale. Not Tyndale. He didn't play for us. No.
We didn't play with Tyndale. What are you talking about? They be able to play for the Cats.
He played for Buffalo. But I thought he came here for a
you can't just name random Buffalo guys. If we didn't have Hack on, I would have assumed it was Hack.
Yeah.
But then there's no Tim Horton connection.
Okay, what else?
Marwan's got a Tim Horton connection.
62 moved here from Lebanon.
Oh, Marwan. Hey,
it's got to be Marwan. It's got to. Look at this. Beautiful. Look at this. Oh, look at the piece of art in the background. Hey, look at this just showing off.
Look at that.
What are you, in your private art gallery? Where are you?
That's the way I express myself.
Is that oil paint?
It's some kind of paint. It's from my car.
It's not from Roby.
How are you, buddy? I was hoping you would come on this show because we finally need a guy that actually is going to act like himself.
Yeah.
We've had Dave Hack on, Belly on, from his office, which was like, I don't even recognize the guy.
No.
We got to get back to, we got to get down to just normal conversation.
Well, they called me and told me that there's a show about nothing from two guys that know nothing, that have done nothing. I said, these are my kind of guys.
Did you guess? Did you guess us? Did you guess us?
Not really, but you guys were, if not one, there were 2 and 3 in the conversation.
Oh my God!
Oh, buddy, you're looking good. Look how beautiful you look.
Yeah.
Hey, you got a little beard going. Where'd you steal the hat
Starting
from?
to get a little white.
Where'd you steal the hat
Actually,
from?
this was I wasn't stolen. It was given to me, but from a kid. And I probably took it. But this is for the Grey Cup.
Yeah.
So I like
love
it because it's a Ticat hat, and it reminds everybody that that's where we need to get back.
Oh, my
bet.
God.
See?
Listen, we're talking to Marwan Hage, one of the best centers to ever play the game. Number
62.
62.
Shame on you, number
Shame on
17.
you. I wasn't. Hey, if I was Danny and under your ball sack all day, I'd know your number. But I knew it was a 2 in there. What was the Buffalo connection? That's what threw me off. I forgot you went to Buffalo to Colorado.
That's right. No, Golden Buffalo, man. And we win championships. That's what I brought to the Ticats. The attitude. That's about it.
I think they.
Well, once we said.
I think they meant he played.
Oh,
I think he
Robbie.
meant they played for the Buffalo Bisons because he stole their mascot. Look at his head on him. Look at the size of it.
I lost
Okay.
my neck since I stopped playing.
Let's talk a little bit. Let's catch up with Marwan Hage. Marwan was, in our career, Rob, Marwan was on the back end of our
Yes.
career. So Marwan didn't see the front end of our career because he didn't care about us at that particular time. He caught us in the perfect time where we kind of didn't give a shit. We were having a good time. It didn't matter what the record was. We came off our Grey Cup, but we were having fun, and we were telling Marwan all about the old stories about what things were like. And you know what, Marwan? Marwan jumped right in and wanted to recreate the old times from the very beginning. Marwan, what was your first impression of coming to Hamilton?
They brought me into Hamilton late at night. They were very smart. They picked me up late. So I got in like at 10, 11 at night, and they put me at the Ramada. Ooh. And I walked out to get something to eat, and I bumped into a few prostitutes. And I'm like, hey, what's going on here? Where can I get some Chinese food? So and then I walked. So that was my first vibe of Hamilton. I'm like, oh, this is rough. You know, I'm coming from Colorado and Jacksonville thinking I'm a professional athlete and at the time. So when I walked in Ivor Wynn, it was rough. The carpet was stained and it was leaking, but I fell in love with it, man. I had a lot of fun, and the guys were everything. I knew who Danny Mac was, and I was nervous to snap to a Hall of Famer. I mean, so I'm like, wow, I get to open up with Danny Mac. That's amazing. I was nervous, but and then you guys brought me in and got me in trouble. And I remember once we snuck out of camp with Lancaster and we went to Niagara Falls. Came back at 3 a.m. and Lancaster's waiting outside. And thank God I was with you guys, or else I would have been cut.
Look at that visual for you trying to get in your window, to get in your window in the village of Brock.
Yeah, so he was. It was amazing, man. The team was amazing back then. The players, and it was rough times in Hamilton, right? The team Bob was just coming in. There was no money, but the players is what made it everything. The locker room. That's pretty much why I stayed my whole career there. I really loved it. But we had a lot of fun. We sure had. We had a lot of chooches. You know, we had Adriano coming in young and stupid, and a lot of fun. So we had a lot of characters on that team that should be illegal to be in one room together. Even now, I don't think now we would have been cut a long time ago based on behavior. So, but it's just exactly what I needed my time to be in a room, bunch of immature men.
You fitted perfect, Marwan. You fitted perfect.
My level of maturity was very low, so I blended right in.
I disagree with you, Marwan, because if we could still be playing now, because all the coaches now are with us. O'Shea, Steinhauer, all those guys knew what happened, what we did. So
yeah, but they look so serious. I'm like, that's not O'Shea. I know that's not Steiny. What's going on? Even me, I catch myself talking to them like, "Hey, coach, how's it going?" I'm like, "Holy shit, that's Mike." Yeah. So they matured. They definitely matured. I mean, you know that. I have to act mature half the time in my business life, which I hated. Yes. And then I sometimes just go to Adriano's yacht to act immature with him. But last time I went, there was a big hole on the side of it, looked like the Titanic.
No. Well, here's the guy.
God.
Let's talk about this, Marwan. So here's a guy, Adriano, who bought a boat, didn't know how to drive a boat.
He bought
two.
Never knew how to drive either one of them. What was he thinking?
Well, he calls me. He's like, "Hey, your dad wasn't shipping." I'm like, "Yeah, so my dad was an astronaut. It has nothing to do with me." He's like, "Well, I bought this yacht, and we're gonna take it out. You're gonna come with me." And again, my level of maturity around these kind of guys drops. I'm like, "Sure, my dad knows shipping.
So do I.
No problem." So I can ride a yacht, whatever, 3-floor yacht with 2 bedrooms and a kitchen, barbecue. So we get on this yacht and we go out. Both of us have no experience. And then it started raining. I'm like, Adrian, I didn't come to die in Lake Ontario of all the damn waters. Like, this is not the Wolf of Wall Street. So it was a nightmare. And then there was no vest on the yacht. We barely got it back. I had to stretch, and somebody had to throw me a rope to pull the yacht in. It was a disaster. No, he was a disaster. I mean, now I just go sit down and we barbecue on it. Now he has 2 boats. So I don't know, man. Yeah, if he runs out of gas in one, he just jumps in the other. But he's a special kind of special.
He is a special kind of special. But okay, so let's reset things here. We're with Marwan Hage, number 62, an all-time tie cat, one of the best, and a guy that I believe should be on the wall. I believe that your time, and the reason I say that, Marwan, I don't get all soft.
How much did I give him a free coffee?
This is going to be awkward, me talking nice about you. You're not used to it.
No, not used to that at all.
But you were the stalwart on that offensive line when it was tough to be an offensive, not to be anywhere during those initial years, right? You had near the end of your career, you had your chance to go to the Grey Cup and do all that kind of stuff. But you certainly were, coming off of Carl Coulter, right? To you was a amazing transition. And Cooler was nuts, and you're nuts just in a total different way. So you're both a little off center. Let's face it,
for sure.
But we're happy to have you here because out of all the people I played with, you were the one guy that I knew 100% when football was over that you'd be into something. You'd be making money. You'd be selling some. You'd be doing deals because every year that we played, every day you had a deal. Nothing was for nothing. No. If somebody wanted something, there was always a transaction that took place.
Always.
Hey, remember those poker games? I made a nice cut off those. Oh, be careful. Be careful. Yep. We might get canceled.
No, it's all good. We don't talk about that.
Oh. No, that's in the past.
That's in the past.
Oh, yeah, man.
So Marwan, who in your time, of course, name some of the toughest guys you went up against on that D-line, linebackers in your time, because we talked about a lot of players in this league. Just you got to tell us some of the guys you played.
Well, I mean, a lot of guys were out there too, right? So we played D lineman from BC, Williams, who would look angry the whole game.
Oh yeah.
And I and then after one game, we went hard at him. And the thing with me is I always played with guards that had the same humor, like Diakowski, who was out there, and Hudson, who's out there. And so we really weren't scared. So we just had fun with these guys. And these guys took it so seriously. And we went so hard at him, messing around with him. And then he wanted to fight us in the club after, which I thought it was weird because I'm like, hey, man, it's Vancouver. We're out at the Cactus Club, man. I really don't care now. I switched modes.
Yeah, the game's over.
Yeah.
The game's over. O'Shea, I had a run-in with O'Shea my first year. I came in and he walked up to the line with his, beard and all this stuff. And I'm talking crap to him, trying to make a name for myself. He looks at me and he's like, who the F are you? And everybody starts laughing at me. So I pancaked O'Shea right off the ball, and then he got up and grabbed me by the privates. So I grabbed him by the privates. And we squeezed each other. And I'm going to hold on, and as long as he holds on, I'm holding on, right? But then I couldn't, because I couldn't breathe, and I had to go set the huddle. And he looked at me, and they squeezed me so hard. And I tried to squeeze him, then I had to let go, and then he laughed on the way back. He's like, rookie. And I was like, oh, my God, this guy is something else.
But you earned his respect. That right there earned his respect.
Yeah, and then we became good friends, but there was a few moments that I tried to size up to guys, and O'Shea was one of them. And it had nothing to do with football. I didn't even care about the pancake I dropped on him. He grabbed me so hard he would not let go. And I thought I can hold on to him, but he has balls of steel.
He does.
Adriano was a tough one, with jokes aside. Adriano really, the only thing that made him tough is he really didn't care about the game. He didn't care if you ran by him. He just wanted to embarrass you. Yeah. And, he just went he was on a one-on-one game with you. He didn't care if we won, lose, there's sacks. He didn't give a shit about none of that stuff. He just wanted to embarrass your manhood. So we really had to hit hard at him.
He wanted to dominate you.
Yeah, but we gave him some beatings. When they went to 30 defense and he was just in the middle like a little, Pillsbury doughboy with his hips. We went hard. That's what made it fun for me because we brought it. I mean, we didn't just take from them. We gave it to them inside. We had so much fun, but Adriano was one of the most aggressive guys and most fun I had playing against and with because he's just, he got kicked out of a game when Cavis was the DC. They kicked him out of a game. One drive, he had like 5 penalties. So they kick him out, and they bring in this young Canadian D tackle, all clean, at Adverwin. And Adriano turns around. The guy said, Mr. Belly, coach is asking for you to get out. And Adriano's like, get the hell out of here. Kicks him back out, gives Cavis the finger. I love this game. That's what I missed. You don't see that no more.
No,
this kind of professionalism.
No.
You don't see Adriano going into the Montreal Alouette locker room before the game to call on the whole team. You don't see, the guy got kicked out of the Grey Cup, Marwan. He got kicked out of the Grey Cup game just because he's just a donkey.
Yeah, he's something else. But he made us better, man. With all jokes aside, guys like that made us better. And I was lucky in Hamilton, even through the bad times, our offensive line was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
we struggled to put the things together, but I remember we won the sack race twice. Once with Danny Mack, which that had nothing to do with the offensive line. That's all Danny. But once with Kevin Glenn, and Kevin, little man, he used to hold on to the ball and scramble, and so we did all right. And some of the guys I played with were amazing athletes, amazing players, and quarterback wise, we played with some good people. I mean, all in all, now that it's all said and done, I'm very happy. And I'm very happy that I stayed in with the whole. I didn't go like Rob to Edmonton for a cheeseburger and come back and get booed. I told Ottawa no. I'm bigger than the game, which I wasn't.
No, you told Ottawa no, but I think somehow you still got paid and never went to Ottawa.
Yeah. Thank you, Desjardins. Desjardins still in the league. I owe him a big
that burger.
I told him I wasn't gonna go, but he this GM sometimes they think they understand life. I told the guy I'm not going, and I told him I don't want the money. Right. In return, he trades me. So I'm like, well, I told you I don't. You're a new team. I don't want your money. It was a big chunk of money.
Yeah.
And then he trades me to
3,800.
Calgary. No, it was like 45,000.
Yeah. More than we made.
Yeah, so that was my last check. I never played for that money. I took it, and actually, I reached out to Scott Mitchell at the time. I was so upset. I reached out to Scott, and I'm like, Scott, what's going on, man? This guy, I tell him I don't want to play. I don't want the money. And he goes ahead and trades me. And now, I can't go to Calgary, say, pay me. I'm not going. But this guy made money off my name. And Scott guided me, said, hey, you got to do what's best for you. I said, well, $45K is very good for me. Thank you, Desjardins. Call me.
What a burger. What a burger he is. That guy shouldn't be allowed in the league.
These guys, they don't, they thought they knew it all. And it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate because I was very honest with Ottawa. And I met with them in Toronto a few times. Like, guys, I'm not looking to play no more. That's it. But they didn't believe it. They thought I still had it. But I had my businesses going at the time. And I'm like, it's time to concentrate on what I'm doing.
Well, that's a good segue. A good segue into what are you doing now? We know what you're doing. But why don't you tell the fans what's up? Because, you haven't just taken it easy since you retired.
No, you know what? That's the funny thing is I wanted to take a sabbatical after football, enjoy life, see how it feels. And I jumped right into business, right? I mean, you guys know I own and operate Tim Hortons franchises. I have other businesses that complement that. And I'm doing okay. I'm working hard. I work a lot of times, a lot of hours. I don't have a boss to cuss out, and I have to cuss myself out. But we're able to expand and grow, and we have over 550 employees now. So can you believe that?
How many stores do you have?
So right now we're at 16, and we're finalizing 4.
What?
All depends. Whenever my lawyer comes back from his golfing vacation, only works before 9.
No, you're paid for it. You're paid for.
Oh my God! I should be a lawyer. These guys, a deal is on the table, and the guy's vacationing, golfing, visiting some mountain, God knows where. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's the kind of world. So you know what? I love what I do, man. I love the brand I'm in. We've worked hard. It's very representative of what I believe. We're in the communities. We do a lot with charity. So and I love our coffee. So that's what I've been doing. And I got my other businesses, like you said. I always have side businesses.
Well, you always got something. You're not going to tell us what those are because they're the side.
No, they're legal. They're not. There's no more side poker games. Yeah. I have to be legal now at this level.
Well,
I doing all right.
So leading into that, it's my honor. We're talking for those people that do not, if we're just checking into the 17 people, Marwan, that we have, we're talking Marwan Hage, all-time great Hamilton Ticat, and it's my honor now to tell everyone, all the 17 people, that Marwan is the alumni of distinction tomorrow night at the Ticat game, and that's the first. That's the first to announce. No one's announced that yet. So nice. he will be so there's going to have 17 more fans there tomorrow because they're listening to our show, and if they don't have a ticket, they're going to go because of you. So congratulations.
That's right. Well, maybe they booed me in their career, and they'll be there to boo me again.
That's awesome.
So are you running out? Are you running out onto the field? Because I got to watch that.
Yeah, I got to watch that.
Well, I am running, attempting to run, but I'm bringing my boys with me. So when they asked me, I said I'll run only if my boys run next to me.
Nice.
So my boys will be running out with me. They're having a lot of fun with that. And every time I get to go to Hamilton and enjoy the team and enjoy the atmosphere, I love it. That's the one thing I miss because I'm not able to visit as often as I would like. You guys should be, as an alumni, throwing some poker games or some kind of fun event.
We're getting a beer room started, buddy.
Hey, tell them, Meetsy.
Get something started.
Tell them, Meetsy. Yeah, tell them what's playing.
Danny Mac is going into the Wall of Fame this year.
That's right.
We all know that is 100% overdue. But we're going to try to recreate the beer room at the stadium so that when Danny's in town and the boys roll in, it's going to be like old times back at Brock. So you need to come. I think that's October 6th or 7th or whatever it is. But you need to come to that because that'll be just, 1,000
I wouldn't miss
stories.
it for Danny, man. Yeah, I wouldn't miss it.
You'd miss it for Hitch. You'd miss it for Hitch, not for Hitch.
I did go for Hitch. I bashed him for like 3 days. I felt so bad for Hitch. I thought he's leaving divorced and kicked out of his house. Oh, man. No, you know what? Danny is amazing. I always tell people the story. Like when I was a rookie, Danny was my quarterback, Hall of Famer. I didn't have a cadence. I didn't have a snap count. He was so easy with me. Like he was like, and there's this guy who should be prima donna, right? Yeah. Hey, kid. He used to call me kid. Hey, kid, what protection do you want? I only knew 2 protections at the time. Like, 60, 61. And then, and he's like, snap it whenever you want. You don't never care about my cadence anyway. Just snap the ball whenever you're ready. I'm like, okay. Oh. So I would have a timer in my head. I'm like, okay, is he ready? Is he ready? And I'm just snapping the ball. And I never had that again my whole career. I never had a quarterback so laid back. And the way he would call the plays, he would talk to you, Greg Yeast, talk to the guys one by one.
Yeah.
So he is more than a Hall of Famer to me, man. He's above that.
But tell him what he did, Marwan, when the occasional time that you would have a high snap or a low snap, what would Danny say to you?
I don't know, nothing. You just tap it down. While it goes and he reach out his little body and tap it down. It just like, just go back. Kid, don't worry about it. That's all he said to me. Like, yeah, it was just high. I tapped it down. We threw a pick or a touchdown. I mean, Danny could either be hot or cold. He's weird, right? He'd go out and throw 5 interceptions, and we're running around getting swiped by every D-line. Dave Hack running with his high knees and elbows.
On the treadmill.
And Danny just walking to the sideline. Right? Oh, yeah. The guy intercepting, running behind Danny to score, and Danny just walking to the sideline. the rules with Danny were don't talk to him on the sideline. I think you were the only guy who could talk to him. So just let him be. He's in his zone, but he would throw 5 picks and then come back, throw 6 touchdowns. Yeah. So it was very weird, but we knew that, Jesus was on the field, right? You couldn't, you just had to go whatever he wanted. And it was amazing for me. I never experienced that.
That's crazy.
Agree. And I think the only other worst thing besides him walking off the field would be watching the game film the day after in special teams and the end zone shot of the whole field and Ozzie kicking the ball off and us running down, him picking the tee up because it's a wide angle and walking off the field when the play is going. I think that was the only time he had shoulder pads made of paper mache. He had no helmet, no chin strap. He grabbed his tee and walked right off the field. Touchdown.
Hey, Ozzie's another legend.
Can't expect that.
These are legends. You can't duplicate them. You can't even act like that anymore.
No,
you can't. Ozzie's his own planet of love and affection.
It's true though, right? Because those were characters. So when you talk about characters, these guys were, and we were filled with them. We had characters in offense, defense, special teams, and it was incredible. And the one thing I remember about the high snap was the one day him saying to you, "It's okay, kid. Just give me a case of beer. Just put a case of beer in my locker."
Oh man, we played once in Ottawa. We're taking the Via Rail, and after the game, Cooler and Danny come. They're talking to me, and I'm like, okay, I'm excited. Big guys are talking to me, and they're taking my duffel bag. They're throwing my stuff out, and as they're talking to me, they're like putting beers, but with the ice on the beer and the water, and just okay, you played good, kid. Yeah, okay. So listen, take this duffel bag now. They put my clothes above it. Take this duffel bag, and I'm going through the Via Rail, water, ice, melting. It's like just bringing it to the back of the train. But I loved it. See, to me, now I'm sure these young kids get offended and question their identity and a million things. To me, I loved it, man. I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. I'm going to get to hang out with the guys, drink beers, and the coach couldn't say nothing. Marshall was so scared of his own shadow.
No, you go to bed.
Oh, that's, I don't know if you can say that story, but that's up there.
You can.
The Winnipeg story.
That's a funny story.
Morreale yelled at him.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
I'm 34 years old. You go to bed. I was hiding. I was scared that day. I was hiding in the hallway.
All of our doors were open a crack, just looking out like this, looking and hearing that. Oh my God, that was.
I could write a book of some of the stories we had.
Oh my God.
Especially early on. Later on, the fun for me started to trickle. The Ken Austin years for me. I mean, it was 1 year, and we made it to the Grey Cup. Go figure. But it was the fun had trickled out for me. It was more, come in, do what you have to do, and go. The team wasn't the new wave of players, in my opinion, were more to themselves, not more like. And that's how I saw transition.
Right.
And I'm like, it's that's what I kind of knew. Like, hey, maybe it's time because our generation now is phasing out. Because the stuff we would do would not fly. No. Like wait till a guy go to the toilet to dump him with a Gatorade. Yeah. That to me is hilarious. But that might affect,
it's offensive now.
It's offensive.
It's very offensive. And now that I'm in the business world and I'm corporately
you mean that's
minded,
not cool?
Listen, that is not cool. There's feelings. We got to check the temperature of the water before it gets dumped. Plus, so I understand some of our jokes were a little bit above limit, but it was amazing. I mean, the guys loved it. Everybody loved it.
Everybody, we all joked.
And if you didn't, you were gone.
That's right.
Right. Exactly. If you didn't, you were gone. You're gone.
We all joked on each other. But I don't know if Rob, you've gone down to visit Marwan at one of his establishments, but I happen every so often. I haven't been in years now, but every so often I'll be at the one in the bottom of the big tower there, the Canada
Brookfield.
Canadian.
Brookfield Place.
Beautiful.
The Hall of Fame location.
Set up there. He's got the Hall of Fame, the Hockey Hall of Fame stuff outside. I went and got a coffee, free coffee, but I had to pay for the cup, the cream, and the sugar. So there's nothing.
I'll give you free coffee. The coffee was free. The cup is $1. The sugar is 50 cents, and the cream was 15. So it was $1.65 you had to pay plus tip the team members and tip your owner as you wish.
Tip your owner on the way out.
And then when we had the coffee, I reminded him, like, hey, how funny is that? We're both drinking coffee, but I'm making money and you're paying for it. You have to remind him sometimes. He comes in dressed in a 3-piece suit, looking like $1 million with meetings up in these high buildings. I got to remind him, the guy's at the bottom, man. Make sure you buy
coffee. Keeps me grounded.
That's right. That's how it goes, man.
But you know what? You were in an interesting position because you were literally part of the transition from anything goes with us to it's starting to become a business. And then now I think it's really become a business, and you're losing
they did the right thing.
Yeah.
They did the right thing. I mean, all jokes aside. But again, the times we went, the players couldn't, play a game and get paid 4 days later. These guys now would be losing their mind. But we didn't care, right? We used to take our check, go down to CIBC on Barton and cash it. Like a lot of things the players had to accept too back then, right? Yeah. Flying before the 1:30 flight, so they didn't give you the $50.
Oh, God, right? They want to pay that per diem.
Jamming in the airport. So now it's more of a business, and rightfully so. To me, the transition, I mean, the Vilovich years were fun for me because Obi was serious business, but he had that touch.
He knew.
He had that touch.
Yeah.
He knew when to tighten it, when to loosen up. And then at the end, for me, and I know it was the right move to do, and the organization had to turn the curve. And I think now, the way they run it is amazing. From the player side.
So professional.
Yeah, like, you go there and we'll be there tomorrow. All in all, it's amazing what they've been able to do. But those dog days, I call them, when we were there, the whole operation was 3 people: Lancaster, an assistant, and an accountant. Which, so you can't blame us for being a bit looser. But we performed, we played, we showed up, and however it fell, you guys won before I got here, the '99 year. I'm sure the guys now would be paid 10 times more than what you guys got paid.
Oh, so. God, yeah.
20.
Probably. Good. You want the guys to get paid. I'm all for players getting paid and making a name for themselves and growing past football. That's the one thing I think all 3 of us were able to do is to go beyond the game and use the game to our advantage. And a lot of players, I still see them too caught up in that bubble, and they think that bubble won't end. But by nature, it has to end. It ends. It has to end. You're at 40 years old, you can't run around and be the best linebacker in the league. It's embarrassing. Right, so it's not happening. So you have to figure out what the next move is, and that's what these guys, I still feel players struggle with.
Yeah. So we're talking with Marwan Hage, all-star offensive lineman for the Cats, our close friend, even though we haven't talked to him in 3 years.
I talked to Mike. No, I've texted you a few times.
Business. So what's your take so far, Marwan, about the season so far this year? I know you're going to the game tomorrow. I know you've been watching a little bit of the games this year, and Mike and I have talked about this. We're so close. These guys are finding ways to lose, and they got to find that way to win. And it's so easy to say for us because we've been there. We played on some really crappy teams, but I can feel what they're going through right now. But to have one win on paper, these guys should be 6-1. But what's your take on it?
Well, the first 6 game of the season, it's still preseason to me. Like they have the quarterback, they have a defense, they have a decent offensive line. I think that it takes a bit longer to gel an offensive line. Not that they're not good individually. Individually they can play anywhere. It's together. How can they play? I'm not too concerned about the record today. Maybe 6 games down the road, if it's still the same record or worse, then it'd be concerning. They have everything available to them to be successful, from the organization to the coach. They have the best coaches in the league, the most stable organization, the best facilities, great big-time players, and new young guys who haven't made a name for themselves. Just time to jam them together. So I'm not that concerned, although you look at it and you should be concerned, it's another washed-up year. But I would revisit, and you're going to start seeing the adjustment and the experience now pay off in the next tier. And that's how you usually see with good teams. You out west, they're always going to start strong. But you start seeing it with certain teams. They catch on. The year I went to the Grey Cup, there was no way in October you could have said, this is a winning team. Yeah. And then we caught on because, the more you play, the more experience these young guys get. But the good thing with the Ticats is the foundation of the team is solid. Coach O, you see, I call him Coach. You see what I mean? I call him Coach O. I have the guy waiting outside the club in Vegas trying to get him in. So no, but all kudos to him, man. They've built a real strong foundation that they can just, they're gonna start, and they are doing that year after year, competing. If they don't win it, they're at the door, right? Like last year, they should have won. And that was heartbreaking.
Yeah,
and
that was heartbreaking.
Enter a million excuses. It doesn't matter. The other team won, and they deserve it. But the Ticats should have won that game.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, they were at the dance.
You said, I think the biggest thing is that these guys have nothing working against them because everything's there. The stadium, the facilities, the coaching, the ownership, the fan base, it's all there. It really comes down to them just putting it together in the field. Like, there are no excuses, right, anymore.
How about this? They've been there the last 2 years to the Grey Cup. There's a lot. How about the pressure? Never thought of that. How about the pressure? Could be a lot of pressure because they should be there, quotations. And I agree they should be. But Mike and I, before you came on, Marwan, we just said that Toronto, they've got Toronto 4 of the next 6 weeks. So that's the season. They've got 4 out of 6 weeks. They got Montreal and Toronto the next 6 games. So that's the season, in my opinion, right there. They can't split it. They got to go, 4, 5, and 1, 4 and 2. They have to.
And Toronto slowly starting to put some games together. I mean, they came back and won at the last drive last week. So but it's good to see the enigma is how come out west they always start strong. I mean, that blows my mind. Yeah, okay, Calgary is a great organization in Saskatchewan, but we are now. Like you can't say, oh, we're still not at their level. In my opinion, we've surpassed their level. The Ticats, and maybe I'm biased because I played only for the Ticats, and I look at
certainly
it. I look at the front office,
right? Certainly best in the East, not even close.
Best in the East,
not even
but
close.
Competes with the best in the West as far as
agreed.
Front office. I mean, these guys are out there finding players that nobody knows about and bringing in top talent, convincing like the front office GMs and scouts out there for the Ticats. Man, there's a reason they're back to the Grey Cup, right? It's a lot is in play here.
Yeah.
Last year, guys, it wasn't too long ago. A year ago, they were 15-3.
I know.
So, that's a year ago. So that I think has to do a lot with just we had such high expectations. Everybody did, and what, like you said, Marwan, it's the first 6-8 games is nothing. It starts after Labor Day. That's when the season really starts to make the playoffs, and that's been our.
It's a playoff league. We all know this. Exactly. Who gives a crap what your record? You can be 4-14 as long as you make the playoffs and you got a chance to win. That's really what it comes down to.
To me, it's about getting better and looking at the team. I mean, some teams you look at the Montreal Alouettes and they remind me of my career. They have no chance. Right. They can get 6 Hall of Famers on that team. The front office is horrible. The team's fabric is just folded. So they're gonna have no chance. And it's no front on them. I like the Alouettes. Yeah. I mean, I would have won maybe 4 Grey Cups if Calvillo wasn't in the league the years I was playing. But right? So like nothing against them, but it reminds me of what we were in the 2000s, early 2000s, right?
We're missing
no matter
stuff.
Who you get, but the Ticats are not missing that stuff. They're now missing, a little bit less. I think the quarterback has a lot of pressure on him, especially with the Masoli. They picked him over Masoli. Now he's the guy. But all this is just hype. Just go out and play. Play because they got you there. You got yourself there. It wasn't, Masoli did what's best for him, and rightfully so we would all have. And just get off of that and just play.
You know what they need? They need to recreate the beer room.
They need to recreate it.
I don't know if it could be better. I don't even know.
Nothing's legal anymore. Nothing's legal.
I'm so afraid, around the players, man. They're all on their phone, and it's just different. I mean, thank God there was no social media for us. Oh,
remember
my God,
the way you used to manhandle me when I walked in the room? That's not legal anymore. It's no longer legal. You can't manhandle me like that.
I told my wife about your Hugh Hefner robe that you used to walk around the locker room. Because I want to buy one, Gucci one for Christmas and walk around the house naked with my Gucci robe. And I told her Mike would go to meetings like Hugh Hefner, walking in the building.
With the leopard skin underwear. The leopard skin underwear.
UPS delivery guy walking in. Hey, he happened to walk in. Sometimes in life, you got to see the good morning.
We were comfortable. What can I say?
Can you imagine now if you walk in?
Oh, my God. I would love to see your new robe. I need a picture of your new robe when you get it because you would look mint in that.
I'll send it to you. Yeah. You know what? DJ Khaled is a big
You would look exactly like I was going to say that.
Just
making money off other people.
It's got to be a black robe.
It's that
it's
Gucci one, black and gold,
Marwan.
that you see in those rap videos.
Yeah.
That's silky smooth. So I want to just wear it.
Marwan and DJ Khaled not only look the same, they act the same. They make money off the backs of other people. They just sit by the side and make other people go to work. Hey, you guys, this is my business. Let's get it done. Marwan and I have a special relationship because not only do we play together like we all did, but Marwan and I were both on the executive members of the Players Association, and him and I were the biggest allies. We really, really, really wanted what was best for that organization. Like, we would have died for it. Then, some of us did in some respect.
Well, a few years later, they got me.
Yeah. So we eventually got, moved out of the PA. But I will say those times and being in those meetings and trying to, you got to remember the guys we had at that time, Marwan. We had Dickinson and Stiegel and O'Shea and Hitch at one point. And guys that like big name guys that cared about, that were willing to give up their own personal well-being for the best for the league. And I'm hoping that continues now. I don't know how much you keep in touch with the current group. Things are different now.
First, what we did for the union is unmatched. I mean, and it went unpublicized because we unshackled the union from the old guards. We saw, and that's the thing, me and you always had our business sense going. When you talk to football players, it's very hard to convince them because they don't understand business and concept of business. And because of that, they trust anybody who has a title. If a doctor walks in, tell them if you jump on 1 foot, you're going to be taller, and they start jumping for no reason. And I used to be like that as a young player. And if a lawyer comes in, oh my God, the lawyer said we have to do this. So and I remember we would ask those extra questions, say, okay, thank you for telling me to jump on 1 foot, but why are you charging me $8,000 to jump on 1 foot? And then they would avoid the questions. And anyways, then we went hard. And as we grew and Mike became the VP, and I think I was your first VP, you were president, I was VP. And we went hard and we unshackled the union. But now after eventually the union always comes back because there's another lawyer and another.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel for the players, man, and I walked away from the union, and I don't keep in touch. I question a lot of the stuff, and I said, you know what, my time is done. We did, I think, what was best for the players. We brought money. I mean, you made deals where you secured them that $450,000 a year. I think it's still up till today. It might be 500 or 550.
Probably more
that was
now,
all you. With the Players Inc., pro players that you pulled. But a lot of it went unadvertised, unnoticed, right? So that's why I tell guys at the end, I'm like, guys, for you guys to sit here and see all these numbers, I can tell you the history why that 450 is here. Because we had a guy go out and sell the league like there's no tomorrow, and they got scared, and then they came to us and bought us out for 450.
Yeah.
But I don't keep in touch. I do feel bad for our players. I think in my opinion, they're always short-ended, but that's not my.
But we had a lot of fun.
Hey, every time I go to Vegas, I remember I'm going to Vegas in September. I'm like, oh, my best years.
When are you going? I'm going to go too. No joke.
Yeah. September 12th till September 15th that week.
Let me see. You got business?
Hey, Hitch, we'll send you a picture.
Yeah, we'll send.
We'll send you a picture.
I'll be the one waiting outside the club to get in. You can get me in.
Yeah, we'll send you a picture from the pool party with the vodka bottles. Say, hey, wait, why don't you go get us an extra drink?
Wow.
Listen,
perfect
ending. Let's just, that note, a good laugh, a good Vegas story, and maybe a possible visit in the future. Let's connect, Marwan. Let's do it.
Anytime, guys.
It's been an absolute pleasure. We could talk for hours and hours. And good luck tomorrow. Running onto the field to make sure your kids don't beat you, which they will.
Well, they will, and I'm wearing stretched jeans.
So, oh boy!
So in case
they're not going to tear.
They're not going to tear. And hopefully they give me that bounce back on my knee.
They might give you some bounce. They might, increase the restrictions.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Well, buddy, it was a pleasure playing with you, speaking to you, being your buddy. We'll connect again, hopefully in Vegas. And Hitch, That's it, buddy, for today's show. This is the Morreale and Hitch podcast on the Ticats Audio Network. That's Marwan Hage. I'm Mike Morreale. That's 100% Hitchcock.
That's another episode of Morreale and Hitch on the Ticats Audio Network. Have a question or a comment for them? Email us at manh@ticats.ca. That's MANDH@ticats.ca.